Hello everyone, today I'm stood on Coronation Street, which was one of the main roads that used to link Sunderland and BIshopwearmouth. So you could go all the way from Holy Trinity Church, which was Sunderland Parish Church, down in the distance. You can probably just see it at the back of the camera. The North Sea's behind it in the distance. So back in the day, residents of Sunderland, if they wanted to come up BIshopwearmouth, could come up here. Could also come up the high street of Sunderland in that way. But just to show you where we are, we're just on the, I think this is Eastern Relief Road, which was under construction back in 1993. It's actually called Sand Street. So pretty much back in the day, this was the border between Sunderland and BIshopwearmouth. So you've got BIshopwearmouth that side, Sunderland over there. Now this video, as the title says, is about a forgotten Sunderland burial ground, and that is of the early Baptists who came to the town. I'm just going to go around the corner so it's a little bit quieter. Now Baptists, one of the main differences between them and other Christian denominations was that they believed that you should be baptised as an adult. So there was Baptists in Sunderland from the 1600s and during the 1700s, and they used to have a meeting house which was down on Low Street in Sunderland by the river, and they had a graveyard which all we know is that it was east of the Quaker graveyard, which was at the bottom of what is now High Street West. Then in 1798, the Baptists moved up here and built a chapel on Sand Street, which we're just going to walk down towards now. Now, about 10 years later, they actually rebuilt it and enlarged it a lot. But some point in the early 1800s, when they were putting some shops on High Street East, they actually came across the original graveyard, and apparently some of the remains were used in the foundations for these new shops, so could be anywhere on High Street East to the right of this roundabout I'm going to show you now. Sorry for the noise, it is about quarter six, so there's a bit of traffic around, but you'll see a roundabout in the distance. To the right is High Street East, and to the left is High Street West. The Quaker graveyard was just on the left hand side. So the original Baptist church burial ground, well, the church was a little bit further away down in Low Street, so it must have been to the right of that roundabout along that line. But this particular Baptist chapel had its own graveyard, which was located exactly behind this SES warehouse. It was 110 square yards, and between 1837 and when it closed in the mid 1850s, because all the old churchyards and burial grounds were closed with all the new cemeteries that were being built in the area, there was only something like an average of about 3 burials a year from 1837 onwards, and average burials were about 5 to 8 feet deep. Now, I did a story in a video last year about this particular forgotten churchyard, and in that and on the video I mentioned that I found no record that the graveyard was actually dug up and the remains were removed, or if not, they might have been dug up when this particular relief road was put in. But a few months ago I came across an old article which mentioned that on the 27th of September in 1993, workmen, while doing that particular relief road, discovered a skull and some bones. Now, the exact site of it was here, so bear in mind you found a skull and bones on an old Baptist graveyard site. My bet would be that this was part of the old particular graveyard, and that most of the remains are still here, because 8 foot is quite a decent depth, so if they didn't really dig over this, and it is just like a car park and lands, but back in the day the graveyard eventually had like a school room built on top of it. The chapel's long gone, and also in that newspaper article it mentions that the main theory was that they believed when they were clearing some remains from 1991 at the Quaker graveyard further down, because they had been removed around 1920 but hadn't got all of them out, so when they put part of this relief road in further down, they found some more remains which were reinterred at BIshopwearmouth. But so their theory was that when they'd been doing that, some earth had been put here, and the bones and this skull had come from that particular construction work. It also says that the skull was returned to the mortuary and to be disposed of. So wherever that skull ended up, no idea, but I believe it was actually from here, and it was originally part of this Baptist burial ground. So there's quite a few of these forgotten burial grounds in Sunderland. There's quite a few from close to where we are actually here. These buildings are at the back of Villiers Street, another old BIshopwearmouth street. So that was just a short video just to give you some information about the Baptist burial ground. I will be putting this updated story on Sunderland history probably later tonight, and also on my own Facebook page, Life and Death in a Northern Town. So thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy that, please give the video a like and a subscribe, and apologies for the noise. We are next to a main road, and I probably should have done it early in the morning or later on the evening, but busy for the rest of today. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time, wherever that may be. See you later. Bye.